Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping and staying a while. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's chit chat. So I'm going to do a challenge where I write every day for the month of February. If you don't already know, I wrote a musical in 2024. I wrote a musical called The Untold Myth of Medusa, and I produced it at the Fringe Festival. At that time, I only had part one complete. And ever since then, I've just been procrastinating. I have been stunted. I have had writer's block. I haven't been able to continue writing the musical. But I also have this other problem. I have so many projects that I've started. I love writing and I love coming up with story ideas. And I have so many stories that I'm in the middle of and none of them are finished. And it's really bothering me. I'm like, I want 2026 to be the year that I finally finish something. Like I want to finish writing Medusa, or I'm writing this new musical with a friend called The Witch of Fife. This is my Witch of Fife notebook. I want to finish that. This is my just creative writing. I have book ideas. I have other play ideas. I have, I started writing a script for a movie with a friend. That's in here. I have a poetry book because I love writing poetry. This one I'm writing letters. This is my letter writing book. This one I'm going to put my Medusa Part 2 book in. Medusa Part 2 script in. This one I have ideas for like research projects. This one is my YouTube one, so like when I want to jot down ideas on video ideas. So I have a lot of projects going on, and a lot of them relate to writing a play, writing a musical, writing poetry, lyrics. I just have too many projects going on and I want to finish them. So to build a habit, I am going to write for 10 minutes every day for the month of February. I made a little whiteboard so I can keep track. My goal for this challenge isn't to finish a project because, it took me 2 years to write part one of Medusa. So I'm not expecting to finish writing part 2 in a month. That would be nice, but I don't know if it'd be of good quality. But my goal for February is to just get in the habit of writing and not let my perfectionism stand in my way, and to like drive through it and do it anyway, do it scared kind of thing. So the rule is I have to write for 10 minutes. It can be about anything that I've already started. I can't start any new projects. I can't start, jotting down new ideas for a different play or script or whatever. It has to be one of these that I have a designated project for. Yeah. So come along with me. Let's see if we can build a healthy habit. I don't know if it would be healthy. Let's just come along and build a habit with me. Okay, so it is the halfway mark of my 10 minutes a day writing challenge for February. It is day 14. I am loving this. It is so fun. It is really helping me get projects done. I started this, I had so many projects going, as you saw, and so it's so nice to actually see something getting done and seeing progress. And I'm not killing myself over the progress, because before I was like, I wouldn't write for an entire month, and then I would spend an entire Saturday just agonizing over one project, trying to get a bunch of content out all at once. And it's been really nice, like, because I would get breaks, and so then I'd be able to come back to the project with a clear mind and fresh ideas. And so I feel like the Irish one act that I've been working on majority of this challenge, I think it's better quality because I've done this. Because I look back at the stuff that I wrote all in one sitting, trying to force myself to get this one act written, and I'm like, it wasn't that great of quality. But because I did little snacks, like snap or snipe, what is it? Little bite-sized pieces, I actually have like scenes, and I have it like builds off of each other, and I feel like it's just, oh, it's just there. And so I'm really excited to continue this. I think I might continue it into the rest of the year. I did some math. I used a calculator. And if I write 100 words a day for the rest of 2026, I will write 32,200 words, which is half of a 200-page book. So I'm not writing a book right now. I am writing plays and musicals and poetry. But it is cool to think of like, if I just meeting my bare minimum, 100 words in 10 minutes, I could write half a novel in a year. Like that's just really eye-opening to think about. And so now I'm sitting here like all those years that I was like, oh, I wish I could write a book. Oh, it'd be so hard. I'm like, 10 minutes a day. I'm like, if that's all it is, I can do 10 minutes a day. I sit on my phone for 4 hours. I can take 10 minutes and write 100 words of a project. And it's also been really nice to prioritize my projects and have boundaries around them and not just write them when I feel like it, actually force myself to write them sometimes. And kind of like with working out, it's those workouts that you have to force yourself to do that are usually like the best workouts. And so looking back on the 14 days, the days that I didn't want to write, that I was just miserable, I'm like, I just want to go to bed, I don't want to be here. Those 10 minutes usually were my best writing. They usually had the most creative, like juicy content. So I'm loving this. I think I've said that enough. I'm excited to continue. I really hope this builds a habit in me that I'll become addicted to this. And so I just hope that I can look back in 10 years and be like, oh my God, remember how the reason I write every day is because 10 years ago, Amanda was like, hey, let's have this fun challenge. And now here, and then like, I don't know. It's just fun to think that I could be like changing my future right now, which I might be getting ahead of myself. I'm probably getting ahead of myself. I need to calm down. I think I'm just talking to talk now because I'm just excited and happy that I'm writing and I finished a project that I'm proud of and I want to share with people, because I wrote Medusa and I had a deadline and I feel like I was forcing myself to write, and I was only writing once a week for hours. So it was just on Wednesdays and I was writing, I think like 3 hours just that one day. And I'm like, I think if I went back and rewrote Medusa, but rather than sitting down once a week writing it, writing a little bit each day, I think it would be a better musical. I think it'd be better quality. I think it'd be more fun. I think it'd be more interesting if I did that instead of how I did it before. So this is turning out to be a really helpful, useful, and fun experiment. So now we're only 14 days in. We'll see how the rest of the challenge goes. Okay, so it is the final day of my writing for 10 minutes a day for the month of February challenge. So let's go over how the challenge went. What I liked about the challenge was that I was able to be creative daily. I noticed that when I go days without being creative, I get into this funk and I get crabby and kind of mean. And so I liked being creative every single day, even if it was just a small 10-minute chunk of time. I liked that I was able to finish a project that was I mean, that was kind of the whole reason why I even started the challenge was I have all these projects I've started and all these things that interest me, but I don't have any finished projects. And I want to finish them because I want to see the end results. I want to finish projects. I don't like just having these loose ends. I want to see things through to the end. Um, so I liked that I had daily creativity, I finished projects, and I liked that it set attainable goals for me. You know, when I would sit down and write for 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to write 50 words. Okay, I'm just going to write 1-page poem. Okay, I'm just going to write 100 words. Those are very small attainable goals for me, and so it made it easier and more fun. And I think I'm using this sentence right, but setting a small attainable goal gave me that dopamine hit to want to continue this challenge. So when I reached my goal every day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm reaching my goal. This is amazing, like dopamine. And so then I would come in the next day and I'd set another, attainable goal and I would reach it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm hoping that this challenge becomes addictive to me. Not addictive in like a bad way, but I build it as a habit. So that way I become like addicted to being creative and being and writing every day. That's the thing, is I want to work towards my goals a little bit every single day. Because in the past, I would just write maybe once or twice a month, but I would sit down and I would write for like 2 hours at a time. And that was exhausting to me. My brain, that creative part of my brain couldn't be outputting creative ideas that long. And so this project, it helped me set attainable goals, and it's helping me get one step closer to my big goals, which are finished musicals and a poetry book and a finished one act, which I finished the one act, which is so amazing. So those are those three things. The other thing, oh, I already touched on it, was making progress. For my bigger music, I'm writing two musicals and they're both 2 acts. Those ones are a bit lengthier, they take more time, and so I liked that this challenge allowed me to make progress in those, and I was able to see the progress because with my tracker I could see how far, like how many words I was writing and the progress I was making on that. So I felt more successful. Yeah. So those are the things I liked about this challenge. Some things I would change is how I tracked. I didn't decide to start tracking my progress until maybe day 3 or 4 of this challenge, which I learned that having a tracker is so nice. I love being able to see my progress and my success and what I'm writing each day and how long I'm writing and when and where. I'll include a screenshot of it. But I don't always write on my computer, and so it would be nice to have a physical, like paper tracker where I can track where and when and how long, just because I think it would make tracking more consistent and accessible. The other thing I would change is actually scheduling in time to write for 10 minutes. For the month of February, I just kind of wrote when I felt like it and when I had time. And so I think that's why a lot of the days I was writing at maybe like 9, 10, 11, sometimes even close to midnight, because I was like, oh, I need to go to bed, but I can't go to bed without writing first because then the challenge doesn't count. So I think when I continue this challenge into March, I'm going to actually schedule in when I'm going to write for 10 minutes. So then that way I'm not, in my pajamas with my bonnet on, about to fall asleep, trying to write for 10 minutes to check it off. And so those are the 2 big things I would change, is how I tracked it and scheduling it into my day rather than just doing it randomly. Let's get into the stats. So on average, I wrote 100 words a day. In total, I wrote over 2,000 words in the month of February. And my most worked on project was my Irish One Act. And on average, I wrote in the evening, so after 5 p.m. That's what I consider evening. And then I exclusively wrote in my living room. Probably because it's where I had everything set up and I made it as easy and accessible as possible. I literally, the entire month of February, I have had this set up to film. I have my giant stack of books with my little tripod. I had my notebooks over here. I have my computer over here. They did not leave this spot for the entire month of February. I guess that'd be a third thing I would change is I think it'd be nice to have a spot for these to sit where it doesn't look cluttered, because it feels very cluttered in my apartment with having everything out. But I'm also very visual and I need that visual reminder to write. But yeah, this was fun. I made progress towards my goals. I finished a project. I finished one, which I couldn't be happier. I feel like this was a huge success, even though I missed a day, which missing 1 out of 28 days, that's impressive. That I'm proud of myself. I only missed 1, and it was due to like a family emergency. Like, yeah. This was so helpful. If any of you is doing a challenge, this was so helpful having, and it's huge. I mean, it's bigger than my head. It's giant. But this sat on the back of my couch the entire month of February too. So having tons of visual cues, filming also held me accountable. Having a tracker was helpful. Yeah, this was great. I'm going to continue this. I'm going to keep writing every day for 10 minutes and see how far I can get in my projects. Awesome. Well, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a great time. I love you. Go be creative.